What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we're going to give you a very early projected record for the LSU Tigers here in this video. Keep in mind, this is not a prediction. It's simply a projection based off of their schedule, how tough the schedule is, and how good we expect each opponent to be. And then we have a formula that we use. So keep that in mind before we get to the 2024 projections. Let's look back at some of the projections from 2023. Here were some of those projections from 2023. You can see 9-3 record in the regular season. Our projection had them at 10-2. I predicted this team to go 11-1. I missed the Florida State game. I thought they were going to win that game, and also thought they'd beat Ole Miss. And so missed 2 games there with my official prediction. And again, 9-3. A bit of a disappointing year for this team, really. Athlon had about 10-2. The over/under was at 9.5. So yeah, they were expected to be 9-3 or 10-2 roughly, but. Again, I think 9-3 was a bit of a disappointment, really just because of that defense. They were so bad on defense. The offense was good enough to go undefeated, but the defense, not so much. So again, here's that schedule, and this is the scale that we use. So if it's less than 20 or over 80, those are games where I think it's almost a guaranteed win. 20-29, 71-80, those are games where I think the spread is going to be double digits, a couple touchdowns, somewhere in that range. 30-39, 61-70 games where I think the spread will be 6, 7, 8, 9 points. And then 40-60 are games where the spread will be lower than that. Really games that can go either way. But I say this in all the videos. It's really not about the spread. It's about the tier system formula that I use. And so we start with the easy wins. You've got Nicholls, South Alabama, and Vanderbilt. All of these games should be easy wins for LSU. I'm counting LSU as I put them in tier number 2 if you're wondering. So they're a tier 2 team. And again, those are 3 games that they should win. They should be favored by 17, 18 plus points in all 3 of them. And so you got 3 easy wins, and then you've got UCLA, really the only game in the blue here where I think LSU is going to be favored by a couple touchdowns. UCLA just lost their coach. They weren't great last year. I mean, it's at LSU. I feel like this is a game that LSU should be able to take care of business in. And again, we should be favored by a couple of touchdowns. And then you got a bunch of games where I think they're going to be favored by, but not by a lot, only by 7, 8, 9 points maybe. USC, South Carolina, and Arkansas. So South Carolina, Arkansas, and Florida, the only reason these games are in the purple and not in the blue is because they're on the road. And it's tough to win in the SEC. And home and away is definitely calculated into this formula. So those are 3 games that they will be favored in, but it wouldn't be a shock if they slip up somewhere and get upset. Upsets happen all the time. And again, it's tough to win on the road in the SEC. USC, that's an interesting one there. I just don't know how good USC is going to be. A lot of new faces on offense. I think LSU is probably the better team there. I've got USC as a tier 3 team. And then Oklahoma, that one is going to be a good one there. These 2 teams are, kind of figured in the same tier, but LSU playing at home, you feel like they're probably going to be favored by about a touchdown in that game. And so that leaves Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Alabama. These are the 50-50 games, the games that I think could go either way. Ole Miss at home, Alabama at home. So you get 2 of those games at home. And again, you could argue Oklahoma being in this group as well. But if you did, then Oklahoma, you add them in there. That's 3 of your 4 biggest games at home. So I really like the home games here for LSU. And the projection, again, if you do the calculations here and you split these games up, the projection for LSU comes out to 9-3. So it was closer to 8-4 than 10-2, but a 9-3 projection. Let's say they lose one of these or 2 of these 50-50 games, and then odds are they're probably going to lose another game, lose one of these games in the purple as well. When you've got that many games in that percentage, odds are you're going to lose 1 or even 2 of them, and they could go. They could go 2-1 in the 50-50 games and lose 2 of these games in the purple. So there are a lot of different ways you could get to 9-3, but it's a pretty tough schedule. Again, it's not horrible. I like how they have a lot of these big games at home, and it's tough to win at LSU. And if they can win those games, you lose to Texas A&M on the road. Let's just say they lose that game and take care of business at home and win these games in the purple. They could go 11-1. They could be right there in the SEC championship. We'll see how good this team is, but the schedule definitely gives them a chance, and that's why that projection is fairly high to have so many tough games on the schedule. It's still a 9-3 projection, which is a pretty good projection. That's the same as Alabama and Georgia. So LSU in pretty good shape with their schedule and projected to go about 9-3 this season. I would love to get your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think they'll do better or worse? Just your early thoughts. How would you project this LSU team to do in 2024? Let me know down in the comments below.